Embracing Shyness and Improving Communication. Thursday's lesson at school was an extension of our ongoing conversation about overcoming shyness in English communication. Our teacher emphasized that feeling shy when speaking a foreign language is a universal experience. Whether you're a beginner or more advanced, it's normal to feel self-conscious, especially when speaking in front of others. But she reminded us that this shyness shouldn't prevent us from progressing in our language journey. She shared her personal experience, revealing that when she was learning new languages, she often felt shy and would sometimes even blush when making mistakes. Despite these moments of embarrassment, she pushed herself to keep speaking, knowing that every mistake was a learning opportunity. She explained that the key is to focus on communication, not on perfection. Mistakes are not failures. They're part of the process. It's essential to keep in mind that the goal of language learning is to be understood, not to speak flawlessly. This perspective shift is powerful. Instead of seeing mistakes as something to avoid, you can embrace them as stepping stones toward improvement. Our teacher encouraged us not to be too hard on ourselves, reminding us that learning a language is a gradual process. Each of us has our own unique pace and journey, so it's unhelpful to compare ourselves to others who might seem to pick up languages more easily. She reminded us that even those who seem fluent once faced the same struggles. One of the students raised an important question during the lesson. What should we do if we forget a word mid-conversation? Our teacher responded with a valuable tip. Learn how to describe what you're trying to say, even when the exact word escapes you. This is a critical skill for any language learner, and it can make you feel much more comfortable in conversations. For example, let's say you forget the word refrigerator in English. Instead of freezing up, you could describe it as the machine we use to keep food cold. This technique helps maintain the flow of conversation, ensures you're still understood, and reduces the anxiety of not knowing the exact term. It's important to build confidence in your ability to work around these gaps in your vocabulary. Our teacher suggested practicing this skill by thinking aloud, describing objects or ideas in as much detail as possible using the vocabulary you already know. This exercise can be done in daily life, and over time, it helps expand your ability to communicate effectively, even when certain words slip your mind. One of the most empowering aspects of our teacher's advice was her emphasis on regular practice. She explained that overcoming shyness in English conversations isn't about waiting for the moment you feel ready or perfect. It's about speaking as often as possible, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes, and slowly but surely, the feelings of self-doubt and shyness will begin to fade. To improve fluency, she recommended setting aside time each day to speak English out loud. Whether it's practicing with friends, talking to yourself in the mirror, or recording your voice, this regular exposure will help build confidence over time. It's through consistent use of the language that you'll develop the ability to communicate more freely, without being held back by shyness or fear of making mistakes. Our teacher also reminded us that it's okay to take small steps. For instance, if speaking in front of a group makes you nervous, start by practicing with one person you trust. Gradually expand your comfort zone by increasing the number of people or the complexity of the conversations you engage in. Every little bit of practice adds up, and before you know it, speaking English will start to feel more natural. Another important point our teacher made was about self-judgment. Too often, language learners are their own harshest critics. We get caught up in the idea of speaking perfectly, and when we make a mistake or feel shy, we tend to judge ourselves harshly. But this mindset can be counterproductive, creating even more anxiety and shyness in the long run. Instead, she suggested focusing on the progress we've already made. Even small victories, like speaking a complete sentence without hesitation or remembering a new vocabulary word, should be celebrated. By acknowledging and appreciating these achievements, we can shift our mindset from one of self-criticism to one of self-encouragement. She reminded us that fluency is not something that happens overnight, and every learner experiences moments of doubt. However, it's important to trust in the process and understand that, with time and dedication, the results will come. If you're new here, please subscribe for more parts of my learning journey. This is part 14 in London. Be sure to check out the playlist to catch up on the 13 parts already uploaded.